Hello everyone, Orange here. Welcome back to another video. This is my June 2016 TOA Hard series. Today we're on level 60. It is Veromos. I've done this level many times before, so I will link all of the other videos in the description along with what floor they're on for TOA normal and hard. He was on floor 70, so that was in April, 2 months ago. So 60, pretty much same thing, but I decided to throw it back a little bit more F2P for you guys, and I'm using Bernard this time instead of Verd. So Verd arguably is pretty easy to obtain, well, probably like medium level of difficulty to obtain. If you just save your summoning stones, you can most likely get one depending on how many you save and how long it takes him to show up in the summoning stone rotation, and based on your luck, sort of. Same with Bernard, kind of, like you have to get lucky and actually one has to drop, or you have to summon one or whatever, but that's a different discussion. So, I'm using Bernard this time. Coolio! I decided to show you guys the first wave because I had a little bit of a strategy that I mentioned in my last video, I think, in my last Veromos video, but I didn't actually do that strategy, so I'm doing it today. So pay attention, this can be useful if Veromos shows up on TOA Hard 90 or even 80. So for this second wave, I told you guys that you can let the Briennes res each other and then they'll chunk out the Renas for you and make your job a lot easier killing those Renas. So I'm going to kill the Brienne in the middle and then let the left one res him, and then the Renas are going to get chunked, and then I'm going to kill the left one and let the middle one res the left one. So it's kind of like vice versa. And the Renas will then further get chunked, and then my job is a lot easier. So notice here the left one is about to res, so watch how much the Rena's HP drops here in 1 second. Here we go. That was a lot. That was like about half, a little bit less than half. But yeah, so then I'm going to let the middle one, because he just got resed, he has no dots, he's going to res the left one now. And then that'll help me a little bit more. I couldn't quite incorporate the right Brienne in on this little chain because at this point he's already dotted so much and slowed that it was kind of hard to do that. I'm sure it's possible, but I decided that this was good enough for me, that they brought the Renas down enough. So here the middle one is about to res the left one, and you guys will see the Renas get chunked a little bit further, so we just have to wait here for a second. Should be here, right here. So the Renas get chunked further, and then it's pretty easy from this point on. I probably could have let the left one res the right one, but the left one's cooldowns are going to be like, it's going to take a while until he's able to res, because I have him slowed and I'm just moving so much. So at this point I decided to just forget the Briennes and their resing mechanic thing, and I just went straight for the Renas. I started dotting them with Vero, and then it took like a while longer, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this back faster. Here we are on the boss wave. The strategy is the same as I always do. I was kind of thinking I could go straight for Vero, but I didn't want to deal with that because the longer it takes for me to kill the boss, the more chances the enemies have of moving, because maybe my stuns don't land or something like that. So I decided to do the good old strategy of killing the Huadiams first, then the Pernas. On normal, I can auto this level, so maybe one of these days I'll get daring to go straight for Vero, but I thought that I would just slightly tone it up a notch, I suppose, with bringing Bernard. So we're not going too crazy yet, but basically the strategy is the same as always on Vero. I have so many videos on Vero, and it's the same thing. Kill the Huadiams first, then the Pernas, and you saw a couple turns ago, I slapped the unrecoverable debuff on the left Huadiam because that's the one that I'm going for, and you guys know the Pernas have a built-in heal, their passive skill. So I decided to slap that unrecoverable debuff on the left Huadiam, which is the one that I was going for. So that made this level faster, just the small things you can do. Of course, taunting the Vero whenever possible. so he doesn't stomp on you and mess up your whole thing of stunning everything. Arya's utility is super awesome with her sleep. That's like what makes this level so easy. She can just sleep, 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 that sort of thing. So, as always, I'll have my runes and skill ups in the description in an Imgur photo album. Click it if you are curious, and if I ever happen to forget a monster or something, let me know, and then I will try to add that in if I have a picture of it, which I should. So, check those out. And the reason you basically go for the Huadiams first is because if you go for the Burnas first, then the Huadiams passive will keep triggering, and it's kind of like annoying. So, and they're easier to kill than the Pernas because the Pernas will res again, and then you have to kill them again. So, you guys should also pay attention to when I start to kill the Pernas after both Huadiams are dead. I had to be really careful with when they res, sort of thing. So, the more you can control, the better. So, one was about to die to dots, and I think the other one was too. So I just let them die to dots instead of killing them myself, because if they die to dots, they will actually lose a turn. But I'm sure you guys have noticed, if you kill them yourself, they will res, and their attack bar will be the same as it was before they died for the first time. But if they die to dots, then the attack bar will be 0 because they have actually taken a turn. So that's what I did in a second, which makes things easier. Same with the Huadiams when you're killing them. If you can let them die to dots, it's a lot easier because if you actually kill a Huadiam, the other Huadiam's passive will trigger as long as he's above 30% health, which is like the limit to when his passive will stop triggering. So do that. And then I also started slapping unrecoverable debuffs on both Pernas, I think, or maybe just one of them, I can't remember, to make it faster, because once again they're going to be healing because of their passive skill. Even if they're stunned, their passive will go off. So I got that on them whenever I could. I found like I couldn't do it too much because I needed Arya to be sleeping things for the most part, but whenever it was up, I would put it on. I think I just wanted to kill that Huadiam. I maybe should have put the unrecoverable debuff on one of the Pernas. Actually, I forgot to look at the Huadiam's. He did have unrecoverable on. Sometimes I make some mistakes, so maybe you guys noticed them, but I couldn't quite figure out what I just did there. I killed the Huadiam with my Arya, but I had unrecoverable debuff up. So yeah, so the Perna reses, I let him take a turn. And you saw me, I just hit the Vero there because if I hit the Perna, I was risking killing the Perna, and then he would res with, like, full attack bar, and he could have made things kind of sketchy, so I let him die to dots, and then I will just slowly finish them off. And towards the end here, when it's just Vero and my team, I decided to auto it, even though I knew that that probably wouldn't be a good choice, and I lose Arya. But it ended up being okay because I could 4-man it, but for a second there I thought, oh my gosh, I have just ruined this whole thing because I didn't manual, because the AI is kind of bad, like, they won't use things at the right time, sort of, and you can tell, like, you're a human, so you can kind of tell things better, I guess. Well, maybe not, but the programming in this game, you'll see me kind of wait a turn or so to attack bar reset Vero, because I know my Beretta will move twice before he moves. So, like, if Vero's attack bar is, like, kind of like a 4th or something, like right where it is right now, I actually won't attack bar reset with my Beretta, because I know my Beretta's gonna move again, and then I'll save it for when Vero's attack bar is fuller. So there's some things like that, but you guys will see. The autoing didn't work out too well, but I paused it and then I had to take back control. You guys can't really see the thing. Yeah, maybe if I just move this like a little bit, then you can see. I was going to do that a while ago, but I just moved my webcam over so you guys can see if it's paused or whatever. I guess you guys could kind of tell because you can see that I'm clicking on the skills, and when you're autoing, they won't show up. I don't think they do, actually. So Slowly but surely, both Pernos will die. Slapping that unrecoverable debuff on so he doesn't heal himself. Always taunting the Vero so he won't stomp. And then pretty soon it'll just be me versus Vero. And I guess right now I can kind of talk about more general TOA stuff, TOA hard stuff. So I'm currently stuck on 89, which is 2 Jolteons and 1 Kume. I don't know how you pronounce that name. And I don't have a team that can beat it. I don't think. I tried about 30 times, probably like 25 times, and I got kind of close sometimes, but it wasn't ever like, oh my gosh, you know, that was really close, but it was kind of close. So what I'm going to do for that level, so now the skills aren't showing up, so it's on auto, but you guys can also see the little thing right here. So, for 89, I kind of gave up, and what I'm going to do is, I was reading on Reddit that there's a strategy that you can do to build a light fairy, which is Neil. The name of that monster is Neil. So you can build one of those, and you can also build a Wind Epikeon Priest, which is Michelle. And they have like a gimmicky strategy that they can do to beat that level, and that's 89, so it's the Jolteon level. And then there's another level that's kind of hard, but it's not on TOA hard this time around. But this is my first time on the Lyrith rotation for TOA hard. So I hear that 93 is kind of the same thing. On 93, it's... See, I paused right here because I got kind of worried, but it ended up being okay. So on 93, it is a Leo and then Ragdolls. So I heard that you can do the same thing, but I heard that there's like another monster that you should use. Some people use Konamiya on Nemesis, and Leo will move and hit your Kona, and then he'll resurge the Light Fairy, and then she'll put up her like 0 damage invincibility thing. I think it's called invincibility. I don't know. And then that's how you do 93. So I figure that I'm going to build a Michelle. I have a Michelle, and I have like 8 skill ups for her, so I'm hoping she'll be okay with the skill ups that I get. Her res maxed for me, and then her second skill is like the other one that I'm kind of concerned about, but I don't know if her second needs to be maxed. So I'm hoping that I can pass 89, and then 90's Artemil, so we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure Artemil is just going to be the same strategy as always, which I'm probably going to use this team, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use in the last. Actually, I might just use this team, because I think Artemil's with 2 Yetis and 2 monkeys, and I think like the monkeys might attack you if you crit or something. Let me see. Oh shoot, the playback's getting all weird because I started to Google something. Are you kidding me? So Artemil does counterattack, like that's the thing. If you crit anything, Artemil will counterattack. Oh, I need Bella for that though. So I do have to bring Bella, so I'll probably just use the team that I used for Artemil. Let's see. Okay, so the monkey just counterattacks if you attack. So that's kind of whatever. Let me see if Artemil was... So he was on TOA hard level 60. Let me check out the team that I used for that. I used Beretta, Vero, Bella, Mav, Spectra. Maybe I'll use Arya instead. I feel like that'd be better. So I'll try something out and see what works. I'm hoping he won't be too difficult, but who knows. So then once I beat 90, then it's 93. That might be a problem. And then 100, I think that's going to be a problem. So I have stuff in the works though. So this is just 60, and I hope I gave you guys a good video with the most free-to-play options that I could, as long as you farmed the Arya Hall of Heroes. This one should be pretty easy to obtain, so yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys in the next video.